Welcome back to another episode of RDY SET Podcast. My name is Angus.
I'm Tony.
I'm Ricky.
I'm Derek.
Right, today's a very special day. We got two gorgeous, amazing guests with us. We got Aaron.
Hello.
We got Kimmy.
Hey.
So I think today's topic, we're going to talk about the red flags when it comes to dating,
relationships.
Right
Save the best for the guests. So you guys have any red flags that you guys want to talk about?
Go straight into it.
Yeah, I can talk about mine. Like, I guess for me is red flag for me is if the girl, I guess, would be very arrogant or very cocky.
Whoa.
Yes.
Those are some fighting words.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's like when they don't really. The easiest is when you go out for a date, go for food, and the way they treat the waiter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's like huge.
Their manners.
Their manners, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to be treated nicely. I don't want to be.
Think about how they all treat you.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And my family, so that's like
True.
probably the biggest thing.
So how they treat other people.
Yeah, it's the biggest thing, right?
Okay.
Because I want them to treat my mom nice.
Yeah. It shows
Sure.
their character, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Same with
Exactly.
guys too. Like if you go on a date and he's like being rude and arrogant, like you know right away, like if that's how you act, I
Yeah.
definitely want to be around you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the waiter thing is like a tell that a lot of people use to like figure it out because it's like if you can't, treat someone at service level that way and as a normal person, then
Mm-hmm.
how will you treat any of my friends or,
Yeah.
my family? Because
Yeah.
they're going to vouch and be like, I don't know about this person. They're kind of rude, so I don't want that for my man Angus, obviously.
There we go. There we go.
Maybe that's another podcast for another time.
I've seen it.
Yeah, that's probably one of my
That's a
biggest
good
red
one.
flags I like look for.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I think for me, if it's one of the earlier dates, constantly being on their phones
Yes.
is a little
Ooh,
percent.
yo,
And
100%.
I
Oh,
myself
I like
and
that.
I'm pretty guilty of that sometimes. So it's something I gotta work on. But I think it's not just myself. A lot of people
Yeah.
kind of go on their phones a lot in the beginning.
Question:
Ooh.
Are you the type to turn your notifications or like to like put it on Do Not Disturb when you're on a date?
I don't do that.
No.
Is
Sign,
that
though.
shady?
So
I don't know.
from the opinion I've got from my friends is like, so usually for me, I put it in my jacket because I've heard that if you put it face down,
Yeah.
it's not good because it makes you feel a bit sus. Because it's like,
Hiding
oh,
something.
what are you trying
Really?
to
The
hide?
pop-ups and
Really?
notifications.
That's
Yeah.
what people say.
Because if you put it like this, right, face
yeah.
up, and you see all these pings, it's the perception of who's pinging you and why are they pinging that urgently, right?
Really?
You know what I mean?
No,
so
shoot.
perception plays a part where it's like, oh, he's busy, but who's busy enough
busy.
to
or if
ping you like that?
they hide it. It's like, why are they hiding?
Yeah, so
it?
typically I put it in my pocket like this and zip it up and just be like, if they ask me and they call me out on it, I'll be like, oh, I'm just putting it there because I want to enjoy the moment and focus on
Have they
you one on one.
These lines are
People called you out.
Well, because like for me, like I have like I guess a reputation of like Instagram storing food and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So people are like, oh, Aaron, you don't want to take a photo or anything like that, and I was like, no, it's okay. Usually I just like I don't care, right? I try not to get to it, but then she's like more open to it, or she's doing it herself, then I'll be like, okay, I have the green light to do it, and then if she's like cool with it, then I'll just pull out my phone for it and then I'll just put it back. It's just that like I just don't want it to be like a focal point, and it's kind of like an eyesore, like when you're trying to have that engaging one-on-one
too
kind of
popular.
thing, right?
Yeah, dude, even today we went for food and the guy came over and was
Noticed by
like,
everyone?
That was just a coincidence. We're in the area,
touching you and be like, yo, get
Hey,
off.
hey,
What the hell?
my love language is physical touch. I love hugs, so friends hugging friends. There's nothing wrong with friends hugging friends.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that.
It's not like anyone at the table is getting jealous or anything like that. So,
Well, this is my man. I got a problem.
but yeah, what is everyone else's red flags?
I think I have a question about that, the pinging stuff too, because sometimes when, like, even if the person does notice that you have a lot of messages coming in, I was like, it has to be relatable to a point too, right? Because I'm sure most of us are in like a group chat one form or another, right?
Yeah.
And so like even if that person has even just one group chat, they know how many messages come down. Like if down the line, as soon as somebody starts a conversation, it's just like every single person in the chat that replies is just a different ping, right? So it's like it's really weird to judge too many people based off of that sometimes.
Yeah, but like in a date setting, right? You like it's your first, second, or third date, no matter which number it is. The first other ones, because it's kind of disrespectful in a way, right? And it's like it doesn't matter if you're like, oh yeah, my group chat or my work is pinging me. Some people might be okay with that and stuff like that, but like it's just perception of like, is it really work or whatever? Because they're not going to be like, right?
You don't pay. Definitely not paying attention.
So it's like a respect kind of thing, and if you're trying to make a good impression in the first 3 dates, because everyone is seeing multiple people, you kind of just want to like put it away so that you don't have to deal with any
that way they get the
assumptions,
undivided attention, right?
But I have a really bad habit of like I'll have my phone there, but I will be the type to like put it face down.
That's what I do.
People probably think I am sus, but
sus,
I just like having my phone there.
But that's what I do.
Like
I never
comfort,
thought it was a
right?
problem.
Yeah.
I thought it was always okay.
Well, it depends, right? I guess
depends.
you could kind of measure the person you're with to be like, oh, how comfortable they are or how trustworthy they are with you, right? I don't know.
That's another way to test whoever you're on a date with, though. Like, what if you see that person starts getting triggered by your phone going off with notifications? Like, is that coming from like their insecurity or that they don't feel like they're good enough for you? So that's another way to almost test. Like, that's like a red flag as well, right? There's levels to that.
That's a good point, though. It could be like their past traumas and they're like hurt by that.
Maybe they were cheated.
As soon as you're on, it's like, who was that? You're like, damn.
Yeah, just like that. That was like 5 things in a row. Like, well,
I'm like, it's my mama, okay?
She just wanted to know how the date's going.
Yeah. She wanted to see if you're cool or not, but I guess not.
I guess not.
Sorry. Split the bill, please.
Sorry.
Kimmy, do you have any?
Okay, I think for me, from my experience is, so let's say you're going on a date with someone for the first time. Do you guys talk about like your past relationships?
Like off the bat?
Kind of, yeah. Like your
I avoid that for a couple days.
I think I'll wait till they prompt it. If they don't ask, then I won't tell.
I don't think that's bad, but I've had people say really bad things about their ex. Oh, my exes are all psycho. They're so psycho. And I'm like,
that's a red flag.
They're all psycho? Like, but why? Like, I don't get it. Like, what caused, like,
It's getting hot in here.
Oh, you're one of them.
No?
Lots of psychos. But, like, it's like, makes you think, like, okay, first of all, why are you attracted to so many psychos? Or are they all attracted to you? Right? And then the second one is like, are they psychos or are you the problem?
Yeah,
like,
are you just victimizing yourself to like make yourself look good, but also like
the common
it's like a crutch kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And also, why are they so quick to like shit talk other people like behind their back and stuff? That's another like bad characteristic, right?
Bad characteristic.
If somebody was shit talking their ex in front of me, I would think I'd relate it back to me and think, oh, maybe one day I'm gonna be one of the people that this person is shit talking.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
You would think so, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
It's just like that meme where it's like, if you meet one jackass in a day or asshole in a day, it's like then you met an asshole. But if you met 10 different assholes in a day, you're probably the asshole. Have I been an asshole? I don't know.
Am I the problem?
Oh no, Kimmy, we gotta think about this.
Am I the problem? I don't think I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I think this isn't for everyone. For me, one thing that can be a red flag for me is that if a person doesn't really like to try a lot of different things. I guess the biggest thing would be like more restaurant style, and this might apply to people of like if you ever date people of like either maybe they're slightly wealthier or they're higher in like social status. And so like obviously some people are more preference to trying the more fancier places. But I find it kind of underwhelming. It's like, yes, fancier places can be good dining, but there's also more mom and pop shop style places that are actually really, really good. And sometimes if people are very like hesitant or very like just straight up refuse to try out like those mom and pop shop spots just because they're not like, oh, they don't look good, or like they look, the place looks kind of grungy, then you're like, come on guys, it's good stuff to eat, right? And
like a food snob or something.
Yeah,
It's too good.
That's not.
Well, it's like a hole in the wall place, but then I think like if someone of social stature is like, oh, I'm used to like
higher class kind
fine
of
dining
fancy.
versus mom and pop places, or even like just normal like joints. So like I guess it's one thing, it's like maybe you guys just don't see, like you guys have lived like different levels of life, so maybe it's not a good match because you know your expectations won't align, right? But then I think that it is a good thing to like tell, because it's like
it's their willingness to try.
Yeah.
They're not as open-minded to try certain things. Like, what if you're interested in like snowboarding, and you ask them to go try one day, but they're always saying no to everything. So they're unwilling to like try the things that you like. or
Yeah,
care
so
about
basically
your likes.
openness, you want someone that's open to trying new things at
Yeah.
least once. That's what like one thing that I always try.
That's not something I look for in someone.
Why you look at my eyes like that?
I'm not hitting
Why are you looking into my eyes and into my heart?
Hey,
That's
that's why you guys should try snowboarding. I mean,
Yeah.
snowboarding.
That's sus.
Anyways, yeah, no, that's a good point though, because like I think it does make a difference. Because like personally for me, like I don't really like fine dining, but like when it comes to like dine out and stuff like that, like I'm down to go try and stuff like that. But it's not something that I would regularly go to. But like for me personally, I like to go like to casual places and just as long as it's good food, good value. But like if someone's not open to go there, like sure, first date, second date, maybe you like go to somewhere a little bit more out there that you don't usually go to. But then I don't want to set that as like an expectation to be
A
like,
standard, right?
if I go to this place, it's like every time you go out, it has to be one up or whatever, right?
So you're saying like go fancy and then go McDonald's.
Yeah, that's the big brain play, you know. That's my strat right
How does she
there.
handle this environment?
He's like, where are you going? You're like, McDonald's. I got you.
Is she as excited?
Yeah.
She's a keeper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Is there any like stuff you guys look for instead of red flags?
Green flags.
Green flag.
So like,
Ooh.
yeah. So what's a green flag to you guys? Like,
I think having a sense of humor.
Ooh,
Oh, yeah.
yes, for
Having
me.
the same sense of humor.
Same,
Sense of
yes.
humor.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Because for me, like I like to joke around a lot. So sometimes if I'm like on a first date and they're not the type to like to joke around, or they don't laugh, or they're too serious, then maybe like long term it's not gonna last, because you're not gonna.
Yeah.
They maybe taking things too seriously, or maybe they get
Yeah.
offended when you make certain jokes when you're just. You're just
Hey,
kidding.
life's so serious already. So
yeah, might as well laugh at the world.
That's a big thing for me.
Yeah, I think the same sense of humor, because I sometimes I make a lot of dark jokes, like
Oh, dark humor.
but then it's not always the same sort of reception, right?
Yeah.
Different signals, different frequencies.
You're just testing them.
you say something
throw-
dark and you're like, why would you say that? You're like,
Yeah.
oh, damn.
You gotta throw in
Check,
Please, check. Let me get out of
So
here.
that's why my first date is always, why did the girl fall off the swing? She had no arms. Boom! Instantly. She doesn't laugh by two checks.
That's like a screening question right there.
You should write that one down, Jimmy. You should write that down.
It's the
That's a
test
good one,
joke to set the
actually.
benchmark. How you go.
Screening process.
Oh man, yeah, that's a pretty good one.
That's just level one.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Level
You work
one.
your way up slowly.
Yeah, baby steps, baby steps. Yeah.
Yeah, sense of humor, probably the biggest thing.
yeah.
I think the other one for me is, it doesn't have to be like this. This is more applicable to the first couple of dates. It's they actually like put in an effort to sort of dress kind of well for the dates, because you know if you put in an effort and then the person shows up and they're like in sweats.
I actually had someone show like that.
And we're like, dude, it's only the first date or two. It's like you're already going casual on me, bro.
Yeah, but sweats can look
Yeah,
good
sweats
too.
is good.
Sweats is a
Like,
fit right
It
there.
depends
But,
though.
yeah, if they look good, then that's
If
what.
they-
But if it looks like they didn't put any effort into it,
You mean like they just got out of
yeah,
bed or
it felt like
something?
they rolled.
Was it a good date?
Like,
Was she worth it?
So this one was interesting because like she was very forward and like she was like phoning me and texting me and stuff like that.
Oh,
Nice
okay.
goals.
And like, you know, that's like upfront. You're like, damn, like this is really good. Like the fact that we can have banter and talk on the phone and
Yeah.
stuff like that early on. And she's calling me, I'm not calling her, right? So
No.
I'm like, okay,
Gosh,
okay, right?
Yeah.
But then, like when we had the date, like this is like the first time in a long time, like where I ever felt like this, where it's like I go on a date and I'm like going to this like, okay, we already get along
Yeah.
outside of in person, so like this should be like going well 100% or whatever, right? And then like when I went there, like it felt like eating with a friend, but like I didn't have that attraction. But the thing is like she dressed casual, like, but it was casual where like literally looked like she came out of bed like it's
she
like didn't give a
care.
shit, like it's just like whatever. Like I'm just coming out to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like
Did she wear Uggs?
I don't know if I can't remember if she wore Uggs or not, but like, it was like super baggy.
Sweats and
Like
Uggs.
her hair was like
Sweats and Uggs,
really
that's
like
the one.
messy, sleepy hair.
That's a
So,
red
Yeah.
For a guy.
but it wasn't that put me off. It's just that like I just like because I went there to like dress up and I was like, okay, I'm ready. Like
Yeah.
Like how dressed up, like suit and tie?
No,
And she was in sweats.
Tuxedo.
I don't want to expose her, but because it might be narrowed down.
Was
To,
it a nice place?
it was a nice
Like, you
place.
should be
It was
wearing
it was a
nice
nice like Japanese restaurant.
Oh,
so
you should be at
like
least
I wore
somewhat,
like
like,
jeans, a nice shirt, and like you know I went there and then she
Was it
talked
Miku?
some- No, not that. Like I ain't gonna do Miku in like a first date.
Okay,
That's-
okay, that's too high.
Too high.
Saying this
Like,
Second
even,
date,
like
second
even
date.
though I was getting like the good signs and stuff like that, like she still has to like you know
Work away.
work her way up, and I still have to like feel it, right? I don't want to come off like desperate and just throw a
Miku
Miku
second
dinner.
date though?
Sure.
I don't know. Maybe.
McDonald's second date. Third one, you go high.
Oh yeah, you could have like played
Mix
her
and
mind.
match.
Yeah.
Well, first date is Miku, and then second date is McDonald's Happy Meal. You know.
There you go.
Start with all the M's.
Yeah. All the
down the list.
Exactly.
But the thing you said, that was actually another green flag. So at least for the guy side, I don't know about the rest of you guys, but sometimes I do prefer a girl that's slightly more straightforward in their intentions. And it's also kind of refreshing sometimes when the girl makes a suggestion about like, you know, either like where to go to eat or like things that you guys could do on the date.
Yeah.
And then so like for me that's a green flag, but it's generally a very big plus because I know right now the way things usually are, it is usually more guy driven. But it is very refreshing. Like that would pop up as a green flag for me kind of thing.
They're more like
a
assertive in the relationship or whatever. right?
yeah,
They're not always waiting for you to
they
make
they
decisions.
participate. They take
Yeah.
an active participation in the
Yeah.
process.
Yeah, that's what I was curious. I was gonna ask, like,
Yeah.
oh, like, do you prefer girls who are like more assertive, or do you like girls
Hell
who are like,
yeah.
girls
Of
with
course.
less assertive?
Hell
it
yeah.
depends on the guy. I feel like some
Yeah.
guys like to chase, but some guys really appreciate when a girl's like the one actively like messaging or actively being like, hey, you want to hang out, or
Yeah,
you know.
I like
being-
that.
It doesn't happen to us guys often.
It
We're
doesn't
usually
happen. No, that's why here too, guys
Yeah.
don't receive much compliments
Yeah.
either,
Yeah.
right? So it's like that.
Society.
sad.
But I like that. I like when a girl chases.
It shows that they have confidence.
Yes,
Yeah.
and confidence is like one of the
Really
very
attractive.
attractive.
Yeah, for sure.
But the chasing has to be in strides, like baby strides, not
What do
like
you mean?
like I don't want her to like be
Oh.
like full on Sonic
Oh,
Sonic
you're
the
the type to,
Hedgehog,
like,
okay?
pull
Like
back.
I'm like, listen, you know,
Oh, you like ease your way in.
yeah, like
not
like
too hard, right?
Like the pace has to be right. It can't just be like 0 to a
100,
thousand
be
or
like, can you
whatever.
marry me? You're like,
Like full on, like, oh my god.
Baby names on first
I
date.
literally just sat down and
Like,
drank this
damn,
coffee.
this is
Like,
second date. We're at McDonald's. Like, what's going on?
That's love bombing right
That
there.
must be the Happy Meal
Love
talk.
bombing. Yeah, that's right. That's a love bombing right
okay,
there.
so for our audience, can you explain love bombing?
So love bombing basically is like you meet someone for the first time, right? And let's say that person that you met is all of a sudden being super forward, being super like as if they're in love with you, but they don't know anything about you, right? So what I hear about love bombing is like they'll immediately be like, oh my god, like I want to be your boyfriend, your girlfriend, or like, you know, get into that zone really quick.
Yeah.
Oh, they're like, you want to rush into a relationship right away, sort of thing. It's like, I love you, but damn.
It's like, damn,
But maybe
already?
she does
Yeah,
know,
like-
or he or she knows you a lot through e-stalking, you know, like.
I don't know.
That's a red- That's the red flag right there.
Your first.
Some people might find that a green flag. Like, wow, that's impressive.
So how's your brother doing that?
I didn't even tell you.
Yeah. So I heard your cousin's at Hong Kong. Like, cousin's at Hong Kong right now? Like,
Congratulations on that.
what is my mom doing? I don't know.
You just became an uncle, really?
That's too much. That's too much. Strange danger. Pull my parachute.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever experienced that love bombing before.
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
But like, would you guys consider that the red flag
Red
then?
flag?
Because
Like next day they just said like I love you. I'm like,
yeah,
Oh,
it
that's way too
or
fast.
it feels
That's way
like
too
they're really rushing into things without like taking
Knowing
things.
you.
yeah, kind of knowing you. Yeah, for sure.
I think
Like,
so. Something to watch out for.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be like, if their personality's like this right now, like I don't know how they're gonna be like in the future of this relationship, kind of deal. If it
And maybe
goes
their
on.
standards are low because they know nothing about you, but they're willing to commit their time and effort to like, oh, let's be a couple after the second date or something. So
yeah. Would
red
that come
flag
off,
for sure.
yeah, would that come off as needy?
I think they're like
Needy?
romanticizing too. Like I feel like they're like you for who they think you are, but they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah.
like one of the things. It's like you have such high expectations, and for that person to like you that much, and then realize later on that's not what they expected.
Yeah.
That's what could happen, right? So.
Yeah.
And that's like wasting everybody's time.
And that's
Like,
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think for me, a green flag is like if you like tell the other person like, oh, I like to do, I don't know, snowboarding, for example, and they've never done it. At least they're like, oh, we should try it together. Like if they're more open to your interest or actually like put any thought into it,
Try
right?
at least once.
At least
sort of
try,
thing.
but like at least take to your interests, right? If they hear it, so that way you know that they're actually trying to get to know you more and they're actually like you, right? It's kind of like a way to see
Yeah.
if you guys are compatible or not, right? And or if they're actually that interested in
And
you.
just having the same interests, or even if you don't have all the same interests, like see if you guys can like share your interests and
Try new things.
try new things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts on like texting? So like, what's like your texting style? Because when we talk about like attachment, right? Like, are you guys the type to want to like text that person quite frequently?
So what's
Or-
frequently though?
Yeah,
I don't
frequently
know. It is subjective, but like, what is a normal amount that you guys find? Is,
Like every day? Would every day be too much?
Once a day is fine. if
Once
you
a
start.
once a day is
Well,
good.
once a day is already like a good morning, good night, or whatever. That's it.
Yeah.
Probably.
You want like a kind of
Like a little
conversation
conversation every
going,
day?
right?
But I
Or-
wouldn't. But that's the thing. Like, I don't think I would be able to handle a conversation for a whole day. That's my take. Like,
I don't know.
you gotta-
I text a lot, so
You do. You do. But not about
okay, maybe I won't respond.
Side eyeing you like you do.
Damn.
It's not a bad thing,
Yeah.
but like for me, I consider myself like a bad texter. So
No, I think you're pretty good.
I'm not, okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at texting.
But I think like it's like to me, it's like, do you guys feel having an ongoing conversation is better, or do you like to do the good night, good morning thing daily? Because to me, that stuff gets a little old.
Just like good morning, good night.
though.
It's
Yeah,
kinda
because
boring,
some
though.
some
There's no
people do
substance,
that.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
there's no substance.
because like
Just-
I have some friends where like they'll do the good morning thing, but then like because they're both really busy at their roles, like they'll just type like their essay or whatever, and then and the day they'll just reply to each other, and that's it.
yeah.
Phone
Phone
That's
calls,
sort of
man.
how,
Yeah.
Kind of like the next day you reply, but it doesn't have to be like throughout the whole
Yeah.
day.
Yeah,
sort of
yeah.
thing.
Well,
Like,
that's almost like writing an actual letter.
I don't do essays. That's too much reading. That's like
sincerely,
kind regards.
as per my last email.
Do your guys' texting habits change when you first start seeing someone? Like, do you purposely not try to text them as often just to kind of build up that urgency and that you're not so like needy?
I feel like I give as much as I receive though. Like I
so
match their energy.
You wait for the guy to be more
But if-
assertive.
I guess, yeah.
But if you
or-
like them more, would you give them a little bit more
a little
energy?
bit more,
Yeah.
and,
And see if they
but
reciprocate.
if that person doesn't reciprocate, then I would not
You pull
bother
back.
anymore.
Yeah,
But
okay.
if they are, then of course I'll be like more willing to be in the same like level as them.
I think for me, it's like there's like different types of texting where it's like to get someone to kind of like gauge if they're right for you. So like texting, like you can have like your WhatsApp, right? But then also like to me, like since you and I are always on Instagram, but like
Always.
or TikTok, right? So like if they send me a funny TikTok
Oh, yeah,
or like a funny
memes.
meme or like if they know I love quotes, like I'd be like, oh wow, they're paying attention, right?
That's
or
true.
like when they
That's
see it,
true.
send you a meme, you're like, oh that's not my humor. Like maybe we'll just wait a couple more memes and see if it's the same. But like if the humor is not the same, I'm kind of like, look at this meme.
But they're trying though.
That's so judgmental. I'm happy with any meme.
No,
like
but
this
some-
meme, no.
Okay, that's probably because I don't like dad jokes. If someone's saying dad joke, I'm like,
Oh my!
Oh, you don't like dad jokes?
I
I say
love-
dad jokes to you all the time.
yeah, but I love you.
This is-
I don't have anything you give me.
My heart, man.
You don't like dad jokes? Oh.
Some of them are okay, but
You
some of
don't-
them, like, I'll just stop and be like, oh, fuck.
That's what I say to you because I just love your expression. I'm like,
Yeah, no, I think people always, like, will throw one out there just because they know I will
Yeah.
either not react or just react, like, in a big way, right?
That's why I do it.
Yeah.
That's why he does it.
That's
yeah.
why I do
But yeah, that's what I mean, like, instead of doing, like, the throughout the day texting, like, to break it up into, like, saying a meme or a TikTok, it kind of, like, it changes up the topic
Refine
items.
stories
Yeah,
and
it
things like that.
yeah, like that too. Like so, the different like engagement ways it helps you like sounds like work. Sounds like work. Like, it helps like
Keeps it fresh.
keeps it fresh, right? From saying like, hey, how was your day? How are you?
Yeah.
That shit gets old real quick, right?
Yeah.
Maybe in the
Totally.
first few weeks of like the puppy love, like kind of getting you kind of like deal with it, but after that like
Gets
certain
boring.
period, you're like, it's getting kind of stale.
Repetitive.
I kind of want to like try some other options out
Throw
there.
some memes in there.
Yeah.
Some memes.
Somebody
Everyone loves
things
some
up.
memes. Some dark humor I got
yeah.
in there too.
Yeah, put some swing photos out there. I don't know about that photo, but maybe it's just the text.
But that's why phone calls are like the best. I find.
Some people
I
don't like
love
phone calls,
You like phone
man.
calls? I feel like it's
No.
a hit or miss. Some people like them.
Some people
Right.
hate it. Like some people
Yeah.
like phone calls, but I personally like
Or like
I like
voice
video
messages.
calls.
I love video calls. Like.
Oh, I
you know.
don't like video.
Hey, that's how you avoid getting catfished, okay?
Like video calls or phone calls. It's just like the connection. You can hear the humor.
Do you
like the
send
laugh.
like voice memos?
I'd rather just get on the call.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
voice memos are awkward because I feel like I'm recording like a
Secret or something?
no like
A voicemail?
voicemail.
And you press play.
Make sure to call me back later.
Then you mess up. It's like oh.
And then you listen to yourself like, oh.
Yeah.
And you delete it. You do go through like 10.
Have you guys
And you go,
accidentally sent something that you shouldn't have? You're like saying something, oh shit.
Oh
Can't
yeah.
unsend sometimes.
Oh no,
Unsend
no.
them.
Not a picture, but like a voice, right? You accidentally pressed it,
To the wrong
like you were
person.
saying something, and then,
Oh,
then
talking trash about that person. Oh.
Oh god,
Shit.
not me too.
Yeah, exactly.
You like phone calls?
I love phone calls. I realize like that's like.
But you warn them first, right? You say, hey, can I call you in like half an hour or something? Just like
No, yeah,
You're straight up
just like
you know,
call them
or you
right
call
away.
them out.
I've done that,
Yeah.
though.
Just call them right away.
Some
I don't think
people
that's
like
bad.
If they give you
spontaneity.
their number,
Yeah.
you should be able to call
Yeah,
them
or I
next
just
day
say
or
like if
something.
you're like chat, we can chat tonight or something.
Yeah, or you don't even
just
have
call
to tell them. Just be like, hey, how's it going? Or
Well, I think for me, it's like
Oh, I feel nervous at that.
I see. Yeah,
I was
me
like-
too. I can't just call someone.
for me, it's like if you notice that like we're having a back and forth kind of convo, and I like haven't talked to you in a while, I'm just like, you know what, fuck it, let's just go on a call and let's just chat, right?
Or
And
you
you feel, are you free for the next hour? Let's catch up.
Nighttime calls.
Yo, those
Hey, hey.
Those are the best.
Yo.
Feet up, lying on your stomach.
Why you have your like legs going?
Why are your legs? Like, can I see your legs? What's going on here?
Well, that's in a video call.
Are you in a swing pool? What's going on? A lot of movement there.
No. Late night talks are the best.
Late night talks.
Get those
is the best.
deep talks in there.
That's when you talk about your deep feelings.
But what if that?
Oh.
What if that person is like an early bird? So like, sorry, I don't.
See, that's where you guys don't align.
Yeah.
You guys gonna have to align.
That's why you got to do it
with that.
earlier.
Fuck that.
So you message Angus at like midnight, he's like, can't man, I'm
Yo,
in bed.
Joel, sleep.
Sleep.
You gotta wake up early.
Out.
Hey, exception though. If it's the first.
If it's the right
First
person,
of all,
you'll
yeah.
stay up.
Yeah, if it's the right
Okay.
person, like.
I'll be
Honestly,
like,
100%.
yes.
I'll take 2.
Yeah, if it's the right
like,
person,
2 hours
like
off,
the vibe is
fine.
good, and the conversation's
Yeah.
like.
Because some people are that busy that day, or maybe that week they might they know. So you're like, okay, I have a small window here. So to me, it's like I appreciate it because they're making that time slot for me, whether it's
Yeah.
1 hour or whatever.
Yeah.
Because to me, I keep preaching like no one's that busy, right? Like if I really like you,
Yeah.
I'll make time for you.
You'll make sacrifice.
Like,
and then the next day you're like,
was it worth it?
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
Hey, so I think a couple Red Bulls will solve. Speaking of Red Bulls,
Yeah, sponsor us.
But yeah, it's probably my thing. Like phone calls, man.
Phone calls.
I get it though, because it's more natural, right? Because
It is more natural.
the thing is, like, when you're on dating apps and stuff like that, like,
It's very hard to gauge the humor.
people can
like,
curate like that stuff, like, oh, so and so said this, like, oh, Kimmy, what should I say? What should I say, right? And then like that doesn't sound
You
like
say what
Aaron
they
5
want
minutes
to
ago.
hear. and
Yeah.
you just
They have
write
time to
that
think
down.
about it, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
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 Whereas on the spot, they have to show their true selves, unless they're really good at acting, which some people are.
Some
so.
people are smooth talkers
Yeah.
though. They take
Good
a
with
charm.
words.
Why do you look at me like that?
Aaron, man, you're a smooth talker.
Oh yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
He knows.
I know, man. I know the way of Aaron.
What do you mean?
You wooed him.
All right. So that's pretty much it for today's podcast. Let us know if there's any red flags or green flags that you guys encountered, or that's something you look out for. Like, subscribe, hit that notification button. We're on Spotify and Apple. Yeah, and I guess I'll see you guys on the next one.
All right, see you in the next one.
Hey,
Bye.
bye.